Ronnie Vannucci Jr. on the phone from the Killers right now. How are you, sir?
Hey, good. I owe that girl $5.
Oh, okay, cool. You can sort that out. I assume if she's a massive fan, she'll be at the gig on Saturday, so you can give her the $5 then.
Okay, that'll be good. Either that or we'll set up a PayPal account or something, that uses technology.
Yeah, some sort of like wireless transaction thing. I'm sure you'll be able to sort it out. It's absolutely fine. So, are you at home in Vegas at the moment?
I'm sort of in between. I'm on the road, taking a road trip, and he caught me at the beginning of the road trip.
Okay. Is this a band thing? Are you on the road with Killers, or is it just like you and your dog going for a little?
That's exactly it, man. I'm just me and the dog.
Oh my God, I'm so jealous. The reason I was asking you if you were home is we've got a pleasant surprise for you coming on Saturday. You guys were over here in February. You know what the weather is like over here. You've been here a fair few times. We are having a proper summer, Ronnie. It is the summer. Everyone's walking around with their scaldy, sunburned legs and arms out. So
that's great.
Yeah, so you're Phoenix Park, glorious setting on Saturday. You're going to have a great time.
Oh, it's going to be awesome. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to actually going back. Not just because I'm talking to you right now, but it's going to be good to be there. And last time we were there, it was November or something like that. So it's going to be nice to be there in the summer and a good summer.
Yeah, a proper summer. Like, bring the hay fever tablets with you because it's pretty sneezy in Phoenix Park at the moment. There's Whopper support as well. You've got Two Door Cinema Club, Frank Ocean and Haim as well. We had Haim on the show a while ago and they were saying they're huge Killers fans, all excited to be playing with you.
Oh, that's nice of them.
Have you heard much of their stuff?
I'm going to run out of $5 bills.
You are? You're going to run out of all the bribes. All the bribes. No, I did say earlier that you were coming on and kind of asked listeners if there was anything they want me to ask you. One question in particular might be a bit controversial, so I'm going to leave that till the end.
Okay.
But one thing that listener David was in touch on Facebook, he asked me to let you know that Getaways by your solo project Big Talk is, and I quote, an absolute tune. And he was wondering, is there any plans for another Big Talk album?
Well, I'm $15 down now. I think so. I mean, it just sort of depends what the other guys want to do. I've always got a thirsty appetite for making music, and if the dudes in my band want to take a breather, then I'll keep going, and I'll make some more rock, and hopefully tour behind it.
Yeah, that'd be great. Big Talk story.
Yeah.
Kind of going off the back of that, actually, Sandra, another listener, was in touch to say, massive fan, really looking forward to the gig on Saturday, and she was wondering if it's true that you guys were going to take another breather for a little while after this tour, but it kind of sounds like you haven't decided yet.
Say that again? If we're going to take another break?
Take another bit of a break, a little bit of time off after this tour.
I don't know. It's sort of been talked about, but never sort of, it's never been a concrete type of, okay, let's take another break type of thing. It's sort of, we'll see where we end up. I think we're booked solid until November, so I'm sure right around September we'll know more.
Okay, cool.
But it won't be too long, I don't think. I mean, we're swapping demos. Even this morning, I got some demos from Brandon. So we're it's still happening. It's still the gears are still moving. It's just when you make a record, you pretty much commit 2.5 years of your life and your schedule. And for people that have a family and that just it's a hard thing to commit to sometimes. But I know people that dig ditches for a living too. It's not exactly the worst job to have.
Yeah, that's true. It sounds like you're in a good place anyway, that you kind of have control over it, that you can say, hey, we're going to make an album when we're ready, or actually we're a bit tired, we're going to take a break and do a side project, that kind of thing. So that's good.
At the end of the day, I mean, you don't want to make shitty music. You've got to be able to have a quality control, and if your head's not in it, then it's not doing anybody any favors just to put out a filler record.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. No, that's really good to hear. Fair play to you. A couple of, actually, a fair few drummers got in touch, just saying in general that they were excited and looking forward to hearing the interview. You've got quite a distinctive drumming style, like, you know, Drummer Magazine and stuff will say, oh, Ronnie's style. Do you have any tips for young drummers listening on how to differentiate yourself and kind of develop your own sound, or is it something that just kind of happened naturally for you over the years?
Well, I think it's a little bit of both. I mean, I think the most important thing is to be, and I don't claim to have any key or any secret to, I don't know if I have any drumming wisdom, but I think the most important thing is to just listen to all parts of the music, and that's something I'm still discovering and working on, and it's just, I think that's the paramount thing, and also, I think everybody's got, like, an inner something. And for some people, it's harder to kind of channel that inner something onto an instrument to try and get that expression out. And that's another thing I think that you should sort of be on the lookout for. And once you discover that and you're able to sort of channel that with whatever instrument you're playing, I think you'll discover that you've got something very unique and something that maybe only you have, or that's attractive to other people, I guess. That's what makes drummers like Stuart Copeland or Alex Van Halen or John Bonham or Billy Martin or Dom from Muse even. I mean, all these people have something unique, and it's nice to have that be recognized, I guess.
Yeah, you've mentioned some absolutely whopper drummers there. Do you have one favourite drummer yourself?
Oh, man. Right now, I'm really into Alex Van Halen.
Okay. Fair enough.
I think I'm about 30 years behind, but he's an amazing musician, and got a great brain, and he's like a country to be explored.
Excellent. Okay, I wanted to ask you probably a kind of a weird question that you haven't been asked before. You guys did an epic video for Miss Atomic Bomb that was partially done in animation. I was just wondering, firstly, are you a fan of Lego at all?
The children's toy?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember my little brothers had Legos. I was the firstborn, so I was basically, given blocks of wood to play with and fed with a slingshot. But I remember my brothers playing around with Legos, and I think it's a constructive toy. But why do you ask?
I ask because the last time that you played here in the O2 in February just gone, you obviously haven't seen this because you don't know what you look like in Lego, or I think you would have mentioned this. Basically, a photographer.
I sometimes think of that, though.
Do you? Okay, well, I've got good news for you. I have something I need to email you along with all the PayPal addresses of all the people you have to give the fivers to. But a photographer from an Irish music magazine called goldenplec.com requested a photo pass for the gig, and it was turned down. So she's a massive Lego.
Yeah, I did hear about this.
You heard about it, Debbie?
Yeah. No, somebody forwarded me that picture of us in Lego likeness.
Brilliant. And what did you think of the likeness? Lego. Did you think that it was a good likeness? Could you spot yourself?
I spotted myself, but only because of proximity to the other people on stage. But what can you do? I mean, you're working with squares, But that's so funny that she was like ousted, from the. We usually we bring. What could have happened? I don't remember if this was the case, but we were filming and photographing a lot of the shows ourselves. So we had 3 people already on stage that we brought with us.
Okay, so you didn't.
And you get too many people up there. It's like having another band in front of you.
Cool. Okay, well, I just wanted to check because if somebody had made a Lego version of me, I would be very upset if I didn't know about it. So I just wanted to make sure that you knew about it. So it's cool. You were aware and you've seen yourself. That's awesome. There's another thing that I wanted to ask you. I'm a little bit surprised by this interview. You seem like a very affable and pleasant man. My boss, Ricky...
Well, just wait until you get to know me.
Hey! My boss here in the station, Ricky, is a massive fan of the Killers, and he was telling me that at your last show, there was a bit of a kerfuffle, bit of a fight broke out in the pit, and you guys stopped the music, and Brandon said, if you don't, pretty much in these words, if you don't stop your messing, we're going to send Ronnie down to sort you out. Are you the tough guy in the band? Do you have to knock heads together if they get out of line?
Well, from time to time, I'm trying to be a tough guy, but playing drums for 2 hours a night, I'm more likely to win the bar fight.
Okay, so if there was a fight with, I'm sure, it sounds like you guys are great mates, but yourself and Brandon, if you were to get into a disagreement, you would win. Basically, is what you're saying.
Well, I don't know, man. The dude's been pumping iron lately, and as I get older, I'm getting, I'm becoming more of a softie. I'm more for peace and love.
Okay, unless someone's,
I still do a little ass kicking now and again, but
So basically, what you're saying is, don't be starting any fights or ruining it for the rest of the people watching on Saturday, because you will come down and sort them out. But
we got to keep it safe. Not on our watch.
Okay, that's fair enough. Ronnie, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. Looking forward to the gig this Saturday in the Phoenix Park. It's going to be deadly and hopefully sunny, so everyone will be in a great mood. Before I go, and this is where you might have to get a bit annoyed with me, because I'm sure you've had this a million times before. A lot of people... Okay. Do you know what I'm going to ask you? It's related to your moustache.
No.
A lot of people asking me, please ask him, is it you in My Name is Earl? Is Jason Lee a complete fake person and it's actually you starring in My Name is Earl? Is that true?
That's not annoying at all. He's a handsome guy, and from what I hear, we have some mutual friends. I've never met him, but I hear he's a great dude and a separate dude too. So we are it's blowing people's minds, but we are in fact two different people. But you've not been seen in the same room together, because you're saying you've never met. I'm still suspicious. That's true. You should hunt him down and blow people's minds. How am I doing? I'm totally lying to you guys. It is me. Well, I think can't take it anymore. Blow everyone's minds. Get a picture of the two of you, side by side, and the internet will explode when you load up the picture. So that's what'll happen. Okay, listen, Ronnie, we will see you on Saturday. Thank you so much for talking to us. Oh, likewise. Thank you. Look after that mustache and enjoy the rest of your road trip. I'll condition it now. I'll start the conditioning process. Cheers, dudes. Bye-bye.
The one and only Ronnie Vannucci from The Killers.
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for the big introduction. I don't know if I'm that big of a deal, but wow.
I tell you, you're a massive deal over here, mate. It's great to have you on the show. We did get you on now. The listeners were waiting patiently, and it was great to have you finally on the show, mate. How are you keeping? Are you doing all right?
Keeping real well, man. Yeah, just resting up before going back out.
Excellent stuff. I mean, it's a very busy time for you out on tour at the minute. I want to talk firstly about Battleborn. I mean, it's the fourth studio album from the band, and I have to say, was working with multiple producers, fairly challenging compared to just settling down with just the one.
Yeah, it was an experience, man. It's sort of like we packed in about 10 years worth of experience with working producers in one record, and it was more fun than I thought it was going to be. We were just writing songs, and we called too late, basically, and so these guys would basically only have a week or two to devote to making a record, and it freaked us out at first, but after about 6 or 7 songs in, realizing how heavy-handed we are in the studio, it still ended up sounding like us. But it was nice to bounce off ideas.
Brilliant. Excellent stuff.
Guys like that.
Well, I have to say, did working with different personalities, did it make it more difficult or challenging to come up with, a cohesive album?
Well, that's what I was saying before, is that was the original sort of fear, but because we're so heavy-handed, and bitches about getting our way with stuff. it ended up being more sort of congruent than we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, great sounding album all round. And okay, well, obviously you hail from Las Vegas originally. I mean, does that have sort of any sort of influence on your sound? I mean, do you think you'd be playing sort of different music if you grew up somewhere else completely different?
Yeah, I think your surroundings have a lot to do with what kind of what your output is, I guess, and what you're experiencing, what you're influenced by. Yeah, I think things would be much different if we grew up in Berlin. You know what I mean? Yeah,
that's a fair point, I have to say. And well, I mean, how much, have you changed? I mean, as a personality since you became a celebrity? I mean, ever since, been constantly sort of brought around from location to location throughout the entire world. I mean, private jets. I mean, the whole sort of the whole international celebrity lifestyle. I mean, how has that changed you in terms of personality, or has it changed you at all?
I think it has changed. Some for the better, some for the worse. It's a weird universe we've been sort of thrown in, and you have to kind of navigate your way through as best you know how. I think your upbringing has a lot to do with it. Of course, there's all sorts of X factors, but I think if you're surrounded by good people and you've got a decent head on your shoulders, I think it could be more fun than not fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Even whenever you sort of walk home into your own house at the end of a day of a hard day's work, you sort of revert back to your normal self, I suppose.
Well, yeah, there's that. But I do still demand the green bowl of green M&Ms. I mean, if that's not happening, then I'm pissed today.
Okay, well, mate, let's talk about, of course, you're coming to perform live at Phoenix Park in Dublin this Saturday. I mean, your recent Wembley Stadium concert was absolutely incredible. I mean, it blew critics and fans away with a massive level of production. All the excited fans, I'd say, can expect another blistering live performance in Dublin, yeah?
That's the plan. It doesn't make any sense to go down.
Yeah, only way is up, really, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, well, speaking of that, we've got a couple of questions from listeners who've got in touch and big fans of yours. And first one's a bit of an interesting one. It says, can you please tell Ronnie, can he wear the same dancing shoes in Phoenix Park as the ones that he did in Wembley? The drum solo was beyond epic. That's coming in from Carla in Belfast.
I'll whip something up.
Brilliant stuff. I mean,
really nice of him.
I didn't see the dancing shoes. What sort of shoes did you have on you?
I have no idea.
I didn't know if they were like
I think it's like an inside joke between the people that get to go see the show and me, I guess. Yeah,
absolutely. Okay, well, I hope you are going to be wearing them. She's very much looking forward to seeing you in Phoenix Park. Also, tell him that he's an absolute legend, and I'm looking forward to seeing him very shortly. That's coming in from Kitty Kerr. Also, she wants to know, how do you keep your beard looking so perfect? Have you got a perfect method to keeping your beard so clean?
Yeah, well, I don't know.
It's a bizarre question.
It's bizarre. I don't know how to answer that. Maybe special oils, from distant lands.
Oh, there you go.
Precious herbs.
There you go, Kitty. Kitty's been waiting 2.5 hours in her car, listening in and wanting to ask you that. So I'm glad we've satisfied her on that front.
Yeah. Thanks, Kitty. You're the best.
Okay, well, I've had a preview of your set list from Wembley, and would you feel it represents almost a musical snapshot of the band's past, present and future? I mean, it's a bit of a cliche, really, but the set list is incredible, going through all your big tunes as far back as Hot Fuss right up into Battleborn. So, I mean, all the big tunes covered. I mean, is it sort of representing you as a band throughout past, present and future this tour?
A little bit. With kind of each record, you've got more songs to choose from, and when you're playing these big shows like this, you want to give it a sort of a well-rounded experience, and take them on a bit of a journey. It's sort of like building a movie or something. You've got to start out with a great action scene and then a little love making in between, and then you end on a high note.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to stay off sort of the cliches, but I would almost sort of describe it as a musical journey, really, throughout the entire concert set. Would that be right?
I'll follow you right down that road, yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, well, speaking of albums, you have announced that the Killers are to take a long hiatus between the end of this tour and the next album. So is that really so you can focus all your attention on the studio for the new album?
Well, that hasn't really been decided. It's likely, but we haven't really decided what we're going to do. We're booked until November, so I think in September we'll have September or October we'll have a better idea of whether or not we want to continue on or get back in the studio and do some things. We're constantly working on ideas and demos and things like that, but one of the things you have to remember is when you make a record, you're basically committing almost 3 years to building the record, getting it out there, and then touring behind it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a long commitment, especially coming off of another record. I'm up for it. My appetite is there. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm sure all the listeners will be very pleased to hear that. So I was going to say, any insights yet? Can we prod and poke you for any insights into maybe a new single or the next big thing to come out of the Killers? I'm sure everyone's very, very eager, but maybe is it still on the plate at the minute?
Well, it's there's a lot cooking right now. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know what the next big thing is going to be because, it's so often that we think something's going to be big and it turns out something else is the next big thing. So
yeah.
You never know. We just got to get in there and do what you do and sort of hope for the best.
Well, mate, I'm sure.
And try not, and without doing any beer commercials, it's sort of like, it's up to the gods.
Well, mate, yeah, a fair statement, I must say, and I'm sure, the next big thing is indeed going to be the next big thing. Whenever you put your minds and guitars to a song, my goodness, does it take off. So, like I said, a lot of very eager fans dying to see you down at Phoenix Park. They cannot wait for it. It's going to be happening this Saturday, 13th of July. Special guests joining you from the likes of Frank Ocean, Two Door Cinema Club and Haim, and tickets still available at ticketmaster.ie. How do you find the Irish and Northern Irish crowds whenever you're performing over here?
They're one of the best in the world, man. I couldn't sleep the other night. I was just looking for stuff to do, sort of. I'm really looking forward to getting back over to Ireland and going to try and do some exploring before the gig.
Oh, brilliant stuff. Well, there's
great country and great people, man. It's really a blessing to be able to have.
Well, you're going to be very well. Yeah, you're going to be very well received whenever you come over here, mate. I cannot wait for it. Honestly, even my girlfriend has literally been. I mean, she was so annoyed the fact I had the opportunity to interview you today. She has to be one of your biggest fans, so I'm sure she's going to be probably front row down at the gig. So we're looking forward to it.
No, she actually called me earlier. We've got her a backstage pass, but you could stay up front and with the crowd.
Oh, I'm sure she'll be more than happy to hear that one. Well, listen, Ronnie, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show, mate. I'm really looking forward to Phoenix Park in Dublin this Saturday. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. And yes, give my best to the rest of the guys in the band, the Killers. Thank you very much, mate.
Hey, thanks for having it. I appreciate your time.
Cheers, Ronnie. You take care, mate, and I'll catch you again soon. Thanks.
Hey, brother. See you later.
Cheers now. Bye-bye.